The Continental Congress was a governing body by which the American colonial governments coordinated their resistance to the British rule during the first 2 years of the American Revolution. Congress did elect their own presidents to lead their decisions, but technically these presidents weren't elected by the people, so George Washington is still the first president. But today we're going to talk about three in particular that were elected by Congress during the Revolutionary War before George Washington was elected by the people. John Hanson had been elected by Congress as its president. While he considered resigning after 1 week of tedious work, mostly due to his poor health and family responsibilities, his colleagues urged him to remain in his position because of the lack of a quorum from Congress which they would have used to choose a successor. He remained president of Congress mostly until his term had expired, though the Maryland Assembly re-elected him as a delegate on November 28, 1781. He stayed in office until November 4, 1782. However, some may say John Hanson was not the first president to be elected or serve under the Articles of Confederation. In fact, when the Articles came into effect in March of 1781, Congress wanted to elect Samuel Johnston as their first president. Now, while John Hanson may have been the first president to serve a 1 year term, Samuel Johnson became the first man elected as president of Congress on July 9, 1781. However, Samuel Johnson declined the office to perhaps make himself available for North Carolina's gubernatorial election after the position was declined by Johnson. Thomas McKean took the spot, however, being elected as president instead, and McKean served only a few short months, resigning in October of the same year after hearing the news of the British surrender in Yorktown. Congress did ask Thomas if he could remain in office till November, when John Hanson would begin his term after getting elected. After a year of his term, Hanson retired from public office, and in poor health he died on November 15, 1783, barely a year after he had ended his term as President of Congress and retired after that. Now, you may be asking, what about that Sam guy and that Tom guy? Samuel Johnston had begun serving in the North Carolina Senate in 1779. However, this piece of information is often cited frequently, yet isn't proven in the Senate journals. Assuming this is correct, if he was elected, he certainly did not go out of his way to attend these meetings they held. In Johnston's own words, after 77, had nothing to do with public business during the Revolution. Under the new state government, Samuel Johnston was elected to the North Carolina Senate in 1783 and 1784. Years before that, he had been the first elected president of the United States in Congress assembled under the Articles of Confederation. But he declined the office. Instead, Samuel Johnston, they elected another man whose name was Thomas McKean. Thomas McKean helped with drafting the Articles of Confederation and voted for their adoption on March 1, 1781. When Samuel Johnston declined the vote to become president of Congress, he was voted in instead. He served a few short months from July 10th to November 4th of the same year. While he didn't quit his political endeavors like John Hanson did and retired after his term, McKean served continuously in Congress until February 1st, 1783, which happens to be my birthday. Just fun fact, but not the year. If you liked what you saw in this video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, and more will come in the next weeks to months to years.